Hi, this is the Teaserking coming to you with this week's football picks. I'm going to do the pros right now for week 2. I'm sorry. Had a nice week last week. New England surprised me. Was the only loss. Their receivers are terrible. I don't know why they don't get better receivers. There's always a ton in college, at least that can catch the ball and run the right route. So I'm kind of shocked how bad they have it. But that was it. I thought Buffalo with no quarterback couldn't do anything. Then after watching the Jets game last night, I seriously don't understand. New England's defense isn't even that good anymore. Anyway, that was the only loser. Everything else is great. The lock was great. The Giants and Vikings. Giants gave me a heart attack throwing a pick six with a minute and a half left, but fortunately we got the late score to get the cover in the teaser. Well, let's look at this week's games. This week there's at least 4 locks and at least 9-10 games. I could basically play every game. This is hopefully if the games go according to the way they should, we'll have a real big week. First game is Baltimore laying 7 to Cleveland. There's so many trends on this game, it's scary. What I like about it, not only is Baltimore gave up 49 points to Peyton Manning, and I'm sure they're pissed. I'm sure they had a very strong week of practice. They're not going to do that again. You got them at home as a favorite where they're unbelievable. They're almost 90% the last 5 years as a home favorite as a home favorite, so in Baltimore. Secondly, they played Cleveland, and the last 10 years, Baltimore and the favorite in a teaser wins. So you're looking at a great matchup. I know Cleveland's a little different. Baltimore lost Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, I get it. But they're going to pound Ray Rice. They didn't run him enough on last week, and I just look for they're going to take care of business. They're going to come out with their best effort. Maybe they're not that good without Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, but I find it hard to believe. They still picked up Doomerville, and they had a good draft, and I just don't see, Manning got hot, he picked them apart, okay, they just gave him the ball. The defense was terrible. But you just know they're going to get a great effort. They're not going to, they might go 0-2, but they're not going to. And Cleveland's not the type of team that really scares them. They might give them a game, but we're only laying 1 point here. All we got to do is win at home. A team that consistently wins at home and consistently beats Cleveland. So that's the first game. Absolutely strong play. Next play is Atlanta laying 7 to St. Louis. Again, I just absolutely love Atlanta. Atlanta at home is over 90% the last 3 years. You got them laying 1. St. Louis is better with Jeff Fisher coaching. Give him that. Sam Bradford's okay. He's not superstar. Steven Jackson's on Atlanta, not St. Louis. That was St. Louis's hope last year. They had a hard time with Arizona, who's really not that good at home. This is a pure trend. Atlanta lost to New Orleans, so off of a loss at home, they can't afford to lose this game. St. Louis is not. They're an 8-8 team now. They used to be a 2-14, 3-13 team. So they're getting better. But Atlanta at home, laying 1, there's no way they're going to lose this game. This is as strong as the Baltimore game. The next game, Kansas City's laying 3 to Dallas. Kansas City's laying 3 to Dallas is that can't be possible. Dallas is a much better team than Kansas City. If you're looking at the fact they beat Jacksonville 28-2, who really cares? That you can't even compare that. You got Dallas in 9 points in this game is just unbelievable. This game is a joke. Dallas will win the game. Should be favored by probably 4 or 5 points. How you make Kansas City the favorite just because they're at home? Alex Smith's the same Alex Smith. Andy Reid's okay. He's nothing special. You got Dallas getting 9. They're just, wow. I got Dallas. Romo plays or he doesn't play. I really don't care. They're better without Romo, but he should be playing. So should Des Bryant. And at the end of the day, This game could get close, but you got Dallas in 9 points against a team like Kansas City. I talked last week about trying to get good dogs against weak favorites, and we had them with the Detroit and the Dallas being really weak favorites. Well, it's the same thing here. You got a pretty good dog, Dallas. Not going to get blown out by a team like Kansas City. And here you got Kansas City, a really weak favorite, and I'm still shocked that Dallas isn't favored in this game. So it's just jump on Dallas. That's like, wow. Next game, in the technical game, Chicago's laying 6.5 to Minnesota. You got Adrian Peterson, I know. Chicago is the trend here. They're 9-1 at home against Minnesota the last 10 in a teaser, of course. They played Cincinnati well and they got the W. Minnesota showed me not a lot against Detroit. They're up 14-6 just before the half. Ponder, for some reason, kept rolling to his left, which made absolutely no sense. And there's like 2:20 left in the half, and he throws the ball. Instead of throwing it out of bounds, because Sue was chasing him, he throws it, Sue hits his arm, and he gets intercepted. This is a quarterback that doesn't understand the game. First of all, they're at the Detroit 35 going in. You don't even have to kick a field goal. You're going to take a 14-6 lead into the half. The game's over. And he throws the interception, gets Detroit momentum, and Detroit goes in 14-13 at the end of the half. All this guy Ponder has to do, he's rolling to the left for some stupid reason when, first of all, he's right-handed. And then instead of just, look, here comes Sue chasing me, let me throw it out of bounds, he's still trying to complete the pass. The guy was open, but Sue had his arm, and it's not worth. If they were down 14-6, I get it, but not up 14-6. Throw the ball away. You run Peterson a few times. Let the clock milk down. Kick your field goal. 17-6. Game's over, basically. So just really idiotic. Ponder. He's the weak link. He's not a good quarterback. And I think Chicago at home. I like Tressman, their coach. I think they get the win. It's a trend. The Bears are good at home, and when they play in Minnesota, you take Minnesota. Next game is Detroit laying 1.5 or 2 at Arizona. A weak favorite in Detroit. Arizona will play very strong at home always. I just look for taking Arizona in the 8 points. Carson Palmer looks decent at quarterback. You got Larry Fitzgerald. They got a very good defense, and they play very, very well at home. Detroit's lousy on the road. Again, I think Arizona should be a 3-point favorite in this game. To get Detroit laying points is just, I don't get it. Detroit, Reggie Bush is, okay, but they're still Calvin Johnson, so I look at this game to take Arizona and the 8 points or so. Denver goes to New York Giants. Again, there's a misprint. Denver's favored by 5. It should be the Giants favored by 3. I don't understand this line. Okay, let's give Peyton Manning credit. That's at home against the Baltimore team. Fine. Baltimore's normally got a very good defense, but they got to get used to no Ed Reed and Ray Lewis, so I get that. But here you've got absolutely the wrong team favored in this game. I know Peyton Manning, but you got Eli, and Eli will move the ball on him, and Denver's not that, they're a different team on the road. The Giants haven't been a home dog in a long time. I went back 4 years. I think they were home dog twice. They covered both times. You got the Giants in 11. I don't care where the game's at. The game could be in Denver. I would take the Giants in 11. You got the Giants at home against the team Mile High Denver. Yes, I get Peyton Manning, but believe me, Eli knows Peyton's tendencies. They got the good pass rush. Who does New York Giants always beat in the Super Bowl? New England. Tom Brady. Who do they always beat in Green Bay? Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers. They are made for passing quarterbacks. That's the way their defense thinks. They can rush the quarterback well. That's why they have trouble with Dallas, because Dallas can mix in the run and everything. But against a team like Denver, you want them to run, if he passes, they're going to sack Manning all over the place. And you got, they know how to beat Tom Brady, and they know how to beat Aaron Rodgers. So this is a team that knows how to beat these type of teams. You got Eli Manning. Okay, yes, they need a running back badly, but they'll figure that out. They won't make the same mistakes and all the fumbles. You can't think they're going to have 6 turnovers. And they still scored 30 points on a fairly decent Dallas defense. So, again, I love the Giants getting 11 points. That's absolutely unbelievable. Next game is the Battle of the Titans, the best 2 teams in the league. Frisco at Seattle. Seattle's laying 3. The trend on here, it's kind of, Seattle's a very good home team because of the crowd noise. Frisco's an outstanding road dog. They're a great dog anyway. In the series, really meaningful. Seattle is 5-1 the last 6 at home. The dog and Seattle are 4-1. And Seattle's 8-2 the last 10 in the series. I would believe this would be a very close game. I believe I can take the underdog in the 9. I'm not that crazy because Frisco, you know, Seattle is probably one of the best home teams, and they look very, very strong now. I would think Seattle, I'm a little scared of Seattle, but with Frisco, you got to take Harbaugh on 9 points, absolutely. So, not as strong as the others I've been mentioning, but very much got to like San Francisco getting 9 points. I can't, you know, it's just it's a no-brainer. You take the dog. If Frisco is favored, I'd take Seattle. Should be a very close game. Either team can win. They beat Green Bay. Next game, the Monday nighter. You got Pittsburgh. Cincinnati's laying 7.5 over Pittsburgh. Let me tell you something about this rivalry. Pittsburgh is 10-1 the last 11 in Cincinnati. The favorites 5-1, the dogs 5-1. Usually these are close games. Cincinnati has never been favored the last 10 years in this game. You're making them 7.5-point favorites. First of all, Cincinnati is the worst home favorite in the league. They're like 20-2 bet against as a home favorite. So technically, Cincinnati at home favorite does not blow out anybody. They're lucky to win the games. Secondly, in this series, it's all Pittsburgh in Cincinnati. Pitt being 10-1. They go there, they know they can win. Okay, I get it. Pittsburgh didn't look that good last week. I understand that. And, you know, 2 things will happen. One, either they're really, really bad right now, or 2, they get really mad and they play Steeler football and they run it down their throats against a team they always beat and they know how to beat, especially in Cincinnati. Again, I can get Pittsburgh in 13.5 points. I think the line's way too high. I don't think Cincy's that good. I mean, they couldn't beat the Bears. They had the Bears. I just think Pittsburgh will show up. This is who they play. This is who they are. It's a very big game for them in their division. So I don't know how good Pittsburgh is. I know they're a little bit weaker, but you get 13.5 with Pittsburgh. I'm taking that all day. I mean, who's going to beat them by 13.5? A few other games. Philadelphia is laying 8 to San Diego. I got to take San Diego on 14 points against any team in the league. I mean, Philadelphia ran the Oregon offense, got 33 in the first half. As soon as Washington adjusted, they didn't even score in the second half. Now San Diego's got a game film of it. They'll figure it out. I don't think Philly's got the defense to stop Phillip Rivers. He's going to put up 20, 28 points. I don't see Philly scoring 40. This is not Oregon, and they're not playing San Diego State here. You got San Diego getting 14. That's just huge. Too many points. You got to take San Diego there. Indy laying 3 to Miami. I really like Miami getting 9. Miami's a very good team. I'm not really sold on Tannehill. Obviously, Luck's very good. Indy is a home favorite. They don't cover that much. You can bet against them and make money consistently. They don't blow out at home, and they couldn't blow out Oakland with Terrell Pryor. Miami's a very solid team. Miami getting 9. Indy's not that type of team that you should be scared of. If the game was in Denver, yeah, I'd be scared of it. Maybe in Seattle, but Indy, you know, Andrew Luck's okay. He's a good quarterback, very good. But you get 9 points with Miami, that's a very good play. Green Bay laying 7 to Washington. I just think Green Bay after a loss, laying 1. I like them here. I'm not sold on Washington. I think RG3 is still a little hurt. He's rusty. You know, you can't just skip the preseason, go in and just play. Green Bay is very, very strong at home, and Washington's not that strong of a road dog. And yeah, they both lost, but Green Bay just at home, laying only 1 point, should be able to beat anybody. Maybe, you know, they had trouble against Frisco. You know, if it was Denver in 13 or Seattle or Frisco, I'd jump all over that. But I'm not sold on Washington. I don't really think they're. I think they're a good 8-9 win team. They might cover the 13, but I got to take Green Bay and lay 1. I don't love it, but I do. You know, I do like Green Bay. I think Eddie Lacy will balance the offense. Still a little worried about the defense, but I think Clay Matthews can shadow RG3 here, and I think that could be the difference. So I like Green Bay laying 1. I don't love it, but I do like it a lot. New Orleans laying 3.5 to Tampa Bay. You know, this is a division game. The trend here is you take New Orleans and the favorite are 4-1. New Orleans is 8-2 overall. The dog is 8-2, and the long dog for the last 20 is 17-3. So there's a lot of confusion going on here. Looks like New Orleans is good. If New Orleans was the dog here, I'd be walking to Vegas to bet it. But New Orleans with Drew Brees and the coach back, and all the trouble in Tampa, and I hate Josh Freeman. They couldn't beat the Jets. Are you serious? They couldn't beat the Jets last week. And I told you to watch the road favorite. So because Tampa's, New Orleans is the road favorite, you got to be careful with this one. I don't, you know, they'll win. I bet I would play this very small, but there's so many other good games. I just wanted to talk about it. But I don't like Tampa. I don't like their quarterback, and I just. You know, I think they're having problems. I think New Orleans is much better here. They should cover it. Carolina laying 2.5 to Buffalo. I wouldn't even touch that game with a 10-foot pole. I don't understand Buffalo, but they played New England and then played them tight. And Carolina lost to Seattle like I thought. So again, I can't touch. Carolina is not a team you play as a road favorite. You take Buffalo, but they're so bad I can't touch them. And that's about it. So I have at least 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 very, very strong plays, 4 locks going, and it should be a very, very big week. They don't normally line up this attractive. Getting Dallas in points against Kansas City, Baltimore laying only 1 at home. You got Miami getting points, Atlanta only laying 1 at home to a kind of a weak St. Louis. You got the Giants in 11 at home. You got Pitt getting 13. San Diego getting 14. Oh my God, this is just Christmas Day right here. This should be a huge week. The only mistake I made last week was putting New England in 2 teasers. I did have my lock, the Giants, Minnesota won, and I had them in 2 teasers, but New England killed me in 2 teasers. So it's just the luck of the draw. The Minnesota and the Giants in the 2 teasers were good. But that happens sometimes, and you just got to be careful, and it's just part of, you know, me going 75% with these picks. So just be careful. I was the only loser I had was New England in the pros, and you know, I had them in 2 teasers. I thought they'd blow them out. I didn't realize they were that weak on wide receiver. I mean, it's crazy. But anyway, I stayed away from them yesterday. I just watched it, and they didn't cover, and I just kind of snickered going, how could they not beat the Jets by more than 3 points? But then when I watched, I knew it was their receivers are terrible. Well, anyway, good luck. Please go to the site, www.teaserking.com. You have my pro picks. I'll be posting my college picks very soon. And good luck. You'll make a lot of money with these. These are just gold picks. And wow, I mean, I can't believe the way this is falling this week. All right, have a nice weekend. If you need me, send me an email, hrobbins77@gmail.com. That's 1B in Robbins. Leave me a message here. Go to the site, whatever. All right, have a great weekend, and you're going to make a ton on it with these picks. These are absolutely gold.